Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's the third map of this epic best-of-3, Optic Gaming versus NIP. We thought NIP were out of it. We thought they were done after the first showing on Nuke, but it seems that they've still got some fire in their belly yet. They managed to turn things around and win things out in the second map here on Overpass, and now we move on to Inferno. Now, Matt, Maniac did say if he gets to a third map, he feels like NIP can steal it on Inferno. After that showing, I might be with him.
Yeah, you know what? I kind of agree. I think that they started to come into their own, specifically in gun rounds. Their positioning was fantastic. Their reads in the mid-round were actually much better toward the end of the game as well. So I'm not surprised to believe that Maniac would say that, and I'm also not surprised to hear you say you're starting to get on board with that thought as well. It's been more and more convincing as we go. Inferno is a map that anything is possible. We know every team plays it. We know every team plays it to a fairly high level and have a pretty good read on the meta. So NIP shouldn't have too much problems with Lekro at the helm, although that said, some of the fakes and mid-round rotations might be bigger the issue, but we'll see how they fare. Optic on the other side of things need to get the ops rolling again.
You're absolutely right. It was Dennis who was really leading the charge here. Gerai had some excellent moments as well. That deathmatch he was using last night seems to be paying off. As we'll be moving on to Inferno here, we'll have the knife round coming up shortly as the players just finalize their setup here, getting ready. I think Optic felt like they had that one under lock and key with the performance in the first half. They had a huge lead, felt like they were running away with it, but all of a sudden, NIP in the second half stole the show as their pick. On neutral ground now, Inferno normally is the third map of all best-of-3s. And we'll see who comes out on top, but NIP no strangers to this one. We'll see whether Optic can hold their nerve. They looked so good on Nuke, no one could touch them whatsoever. We're getting into knife round shortly. This could be quite an impactful one as well. CT Sudden Inferno is definitely preferred. Not as significant as Nuke, but still a factor. There's Cajun B, the old guard of the team. Snappy, in-game leader, Config.
Oh, these camera switches.
It's getting very fast, trying to catch me. Lekro, Rez, Dennis, Cajun, Yugi, Snappy, Config, Yugi, Gabe, Forest, Rez.
Oh, it kept going.
Lekro, get right, Dennis, and that's the whole lineup.
Decent. Oh. As we get ready to roll, NIP, having won the knife round, we'll start out on the CT side. See how they go about things early on as they talk over the final few adjustments. Armor already purchased for Cajun, Yugi, and Gade. Config goes for a smoke. Snappy's yet to make a commitment either direction. Meanwhile, on the CT side, Rez will be the man with utility. Smoke and 2 flashes, no kits, interestingly enough.
And we're off to the races. 4 USPs, a P2000 for Lekro. There's the smoke. He said no kits. There is an HE grenade, though. Suggests they could be trying to look what's available to them at the B-bomb site. They do smoke off at the very start. They've smoked the top of Banana to block vision from the CTs. They make their way towards apartments with the bomb. Forest residing in second middle right now, but not for long. Config dispatches of him. And now they can just hold and see what happens here. They're going to send 3 players still towards the end of the apartment. I assume they smoke towards the library side. Dennis fighting back. An excellent pistol player, of course. Rez rotates in from library. Like I said, I expect that smoke to land on the library side. Just yet as Gade continues to apply the pressure here. Lekro 4 versus 1, no chance of winning it. That's all down to Config though. 2 kills with that P250. That's why you buy it. So you similarly have the one-tap potential that the USPs do. You want to get your star player on that weapon, maybe even some armor sometimes. He gets 2 great shots. Forrest had a nice position, but now Lekro, the in-game leader of this squad, might as well save the armor. See what kind of kills are available to him. We can get $300 and save it. That'd be great, but not going to happen. Cajun B, close range Glock, does have more spam and more mobility as he finds the kill. It will be presumably the force spike coming in from NIP now. Good start from Optic. Bouncing back what felt like their game. That was pretty special from Config to open things up. Get right. Gets his clock cleaned up, and we'll see round number 2 come in. CZs. And a deagle for Lekro. He's got the defuse kit. Got 5 smokes. Going to try and treat this like a gun round. He won't see any stacks going on here. He's going to try and delay them as usual and see if they can bait them into a last second commit and hold them off until about the 30-second mark.
So alt mid to start it off for Optic. 1 player only. That's Config that will hold in Bananas. Bomb is dropped toward the T stairs. by the Vespa. I'd totally ride a Vespa.
Yeah, me too.
If I lived in Monaco. But that's about it.
It would have to be an area where the traffic isn't absolutely mental. You know, London wouldn't ride on.
Or you don't have to go super, super far.
Wouldn't ride on Paris either. But yeah, it's a nice sleepy town, sure.
Config tries to fight toward the coffins. Shots toward Rez, no damage dealt. Get right still silently moving about, wants to change his position without giving anything away. So smoke out topside banana once again. That brings Dennis over. So Get Right and Dennis swapping positions. Both have CZs. One has a nade, one has an additional smoke, so that's what they want Dennis there for.
Perfect.
Because they want the third smoke in position on B. And as you say, they want a last-second commitment, which they're now going to get, 22 seconds. Dennis smartly is going to play next to the smoke against the wall, meaning if he gets anyone running into him, it's pretty easy to figure out where they are. And secondly, they can go by him. Oh, Config reads that well. But Rez and Lekro have responded. Nip get what they want out of this commitment, but the bomb still planted by Gade.
Got the man advantage. That's exactly what they want. It's a good grenade as well. This could work out for an IP. This kill might decide. Lekro gets the intel. Yugi's on the other side. This kill might be everything. Lekro trying to do what he can. He has got the UMP, but no life anymore. 2 on 2. No kits available. Get Right with no armor. He will go down very quickly here as Gade finds him. That's going to be the round. Great attempt there by NIP. Like we said, looking for that last second commitment. They definitely got it, but Config comes through the smoke. Hits the instant headshot, and that's saved today. At that point, they could just trade out. That important kill towards Banana did go in favor of Yugi. 2-0, full eco now for an IP. The touch and go there for Optic. Got the job done, though. Third and final map here to decide who will stay in the upper bracket, who goes down to the lower. Play against Sprout, who are waiting there. That will be the next game. I guess Sprout will be watching this with very keen eyes.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Working out the tendencies, who's playing well. Which players to avoid. 3-man stack, make it 4, I think, actually, towards the B site. 2 players in well. And lots of damage inflicted. He's going to spot a few of them. Config. His teammates just go towards A now and plant.
Yep, no question. One of the 2 remaining players takes him down. Let's Get Right. I'm not sure that he did spot Forest, but that's enough of information to get out of there. So 3-0 for Optic to start. Nip made it as interesting as they could. The last round, this one's a little bit less so, but we get to the gun round next. Be $2,400 going to an IP at the end of this round, and that puts him in an okay position. Get Right would be in position to buy an op-out for a teammate. Only just gas cannon, not really worth it. They'll have a full buy with utility and rifles, and I expect that to be the case. Forced back out toward the apartments. Cajun's going to sneak down, potentially farm up a little more cash with the MAC-10. He can afford to go down and give that up because heading into the gun round. Not really in a bonus position, given that they already have AKs. Forrest goes down. Cajun gets 1 more kill. Fair play. He's got 5150. If he holds it, that's also fine because they've got 4 other AKs. Can upgrade when they kill a CT, potentially grab an M4.
Here we go then. First gun round. Not sure NIP will force themselves on the AWP. It will be a glass cannon. Dennis will potentially bring that out if required. Occasion stays on the MAC-10. 2 players without helmets. That could be a little bit complicated for them. Config will make his way up towards the top of B. No grenades thrown by the CTs at the start. So he can assume he can make his way up. Double nade on the corner just to push anyone back or hopefully do a lot of damage. Get Right boosted up on first oranges. Rez baiting him in from coffins. Very classic setup. Rez to challenge. He likes to fight as much as possible. He's not literally just taking the aggro and hiding. He does like to fight and then set Get Right up. And usually hits the shots.
Config AK watching the connection point to B with Get Right still above on oranges 1. Rez coffins. Trying to bait Get Right in. Throw the nade down from close. Don't think it was spotted in the short bounce. So trajectory may not be indicative, or was it? Because Config certainly positioning himself as such. Their smoke goes down. Delaying them yet longer. No damage done as of yet in the round. Config gets to the corner. No boost for Snappy to spot 2. Oh, good Molotov. They certainly knew Get Right was toward Orange's 1.
Back and forth mind games with these grenades is excellent. CT's now with nothing. 30 seconds to go. Molotov's still coming in. Get Right gets nothing.
That could have gone. That could have gone the other way. If Get Right sprayed both those players, this round is theirs. Dennis still might steal it back. Gets in position. They're low enough. Then he gets the assist from Get Right on the first one from that initial damage, but they still get a bomb plant down. You're right. The nades are everything. They're playing with Get Right on top of Oranges. They don't go for the boost. They don't play coffins. They try and swing inside on the CT side. The Molotov is brilliant. Snappy takes down Lekro. That secures the round because it's now going to be 4-0. Forest can do nothing of it.
Absolutely. No kits, no nades. 3-on-1. Might as well save the M4. Not the best start there for an IP, but that was a really cool battle. Like he said, no damage inflicted. No bullets shot. But the grenades back and forth, the mind games of Optic just trying to bait out everything they could, save themselves a couple of Molotovs and flashbangs, and just the smoke is still there. They go through, hit the shots required, and Get Right. Did damage, but couldn't find enough. Rez left in a difficult position. Config so good at getting those entries. 2 kills for him. Snappy to finish things off. Like you said, guarantee the round. 4-0 Optic. Round 5. Config shows us how it's done. Great spray control. Snappy got dinged here, but recovered. Round 5. We know how deadly these rounds are for an OP. I'm not discounting them at all. Deagles saved them 4 in the hands of Forest. Definitely possible to win this round.
Nade to the top. Forest pushes down. Gonna try and spot out inside of the smoke. Silenced M4 won't get much, but he'll fall away. Config still trying to do damage where applicable. Forest has to be careful on that single M4 as well. Dennis swinging in, but no such luck as Config holds him. Still, Forest needs to make the M4 viable. Gets it toward Arch. They were going to cross in that position. He's actually going to confront them now, but there's a smoke down. Forest needs to time this to perfection, but he's found by Snappy. That should secure everything because it's just pistols remaining, and Optic find their 5th round.
Rez, low HP, they know exactly where he is. Can't really do much here. Maybe gets one little Deagle headshot. Not meant to be. Plenty of cash now. That's 5 digits on 3 players for Optic. So they are set up for this half. Great start. 5 PM here. We've got one more best of 3 to bring you today. Do not go anywhere after this map. We've got the loser of this particular best of 3 is the final map, just to reiterate. Playing against Sprouts, who are waiting in the lower bracket. That will be an elimination game, so we'll lose one more team today. Winner will go on to play Ents in the upper bracket final. And that game decides who will be our first team to the major. And indeed the final of this tour. So here we go. And falls again. Get Right, just 1 flash. He's got the defuse kit though. No orbs purchased at all of around number 6 here on Inferno. So you can see NIP not just trying to force your power every time. If they think it's necessary, that's when they'll use it.
Smoke in hand, Cajun does spot the hand of Forest sticking out from the balcony. Can't do anything about it. Wants to go back around the other direction to the same approach. Instead, that's going to be down the hallway at apartments. Gate to be boosted. Config's already in, though, so the boost is really to babysit if anyone were to chase. Rotations back towards B, and then Cheat leading the bases is Dennis on Speedway. And he'll pick up the pace now, in fact, because there's a lot of utility once again going to be with 30 seconds left. Get Right top of the coffins, needs to hit the shot, does. Took him a while, gets away with it though. And Rez is still on the fountain. They've yet to spot him. That gives him a double. Get Right goes down. Yugi and Cajun respond. They've got a chance in the half. They're at the half, the round, whatever it is. Bomb to go down to coffins as they pull back all the kills. That one surely had to be an IP's round.
Yeah, it felt like it. Forrest can still do this though. Absolutely. He knows Cajun. I think Forrest has got his number. Here we go. Not quite though. Cajun well held. Forrest assuming he's behind the half wall, I think, was looking at that angle instead. Another round on the board for Optic. 6-0 now.
I don't know that I've seen a 6-0 that's this closely contested. I mean, every single time we're getting trades on entry and the bomb's just barely getting down.
Yeah, this is not NIP rolling over. This is a real frustrating game for them because they are playing the rounds well. They're trading out effectively. It's coming down to 1v1, so this can win one of them. They'll be in the game, but it's just not happening for them. Back to pistols it is, this time a no-save rifle. Top fragger so far, running the 7s, Reds 4 and 6. Morris is getting himself in winnable positions, but he's only got 1 frag to his name so far. Spam there at the start. It's going to be Get Right taking the majority of the damage. Flashbang in. Config. So good at these sort of shots. Actually Yugi to take down the first player, and Get Right already tagged up. He's in CT spawn. CZ in hand. Good attempt. Things snappy, but surely dealt with here, and that's going to be an open B site as Gade patrols towards middle. He has got a player in the boiler room, but that should be bomb going down. There's one chance that NIP can come back from this, and that's going to be the flashbang of Dennis. Doesn't commit. Cajun spots one. That might have him here, and indeed he does. Got such a strong deal on him. That's going to be the start. Dennis has to commit on this, but there it is. Snappy with the AWP. Given that because he has the low HP. Confirms the round, and it's up to Lekro to save this AK now. Again, hot on his heels as he takes down his teammate Forrest. Oh, Lekro's gone for the graveyard save.
Yeah.
I think that will be fine. I don't think anyone's going to make it that far. But it could be his final resting place.
I was going to say exactly this guy. Yugi might. You're right. Good analogy there. Whole graveyard thing. I got you.
Got it. Yeah. It all works.
Yeah, it does. So Optic this time a little more convincing.
It's not even a graveyard anymore. In Source it was. I think the first version of Inferno in this game, it actually had like church.
There was one tombstone,
church benches and stuff. Yeah.
I think was there one tombstone? I can't remember. I seem to recall like
at least
across
in the
circle.
Source version there definitely was. I don't know in the CS:GO version. I can't remember. But yeah, it's called Graveyard from Source. And we'll see round 8 come in. This map originally was just a direct clone of the Source version with some minor changes, but now it's its own beast, been heavily modded and adapted to CS:GO gameplay. Timeout from NIP, definitely going to need it. 7-0 down, Orb comes out for Yugi, and a double Orb set up for NIP. It's going to be Dennis and Rez. Rez will Orb towards B, Dennis will hold the arch. Rez is an interesting AWPer on this map. I think he is talented with the weapon. It just seems like an Inferno, and this is what we saw throughout this tournament. He seems to miss more than he hits, especially the B side. Goes for very aggressive, fast flicks, and sometimes can fall apart for him. But I hope he does put on a bit of a clinic now, gets him into the game.
They need a sustainable opening pick. The trades have been very evenly contested, but it's just so quick, and there's just so many bodies coming into the site at B that NIP only has 2 players defending it and can't do anything about it. If they can find an opening pick and slow the pace down, force Optic back a little bit, might be a chance at a round.
So NIP have got control of Banana, but it cost them the majority of their utility there. Flashbang's decent, that just gives them access now. Config, good for 1. Decent trade. No AWP shots connecting just yet. Rez, he'll be taken down. That AWP was not successful. Lekro, the last line of defense. But Snappy finds a little gap, and this is just an absolute mauling.
Yeah, this one's very convincing. Forget what we said about the earlier rounds. That's starting to sway. How many rounds have they gotten into B?
And that's the problem, because they used all that utility. I think every player out of the 3 used their smoke, their incendiary, their flashbangs, their nades towards logs. They got control, but then one flashbang baited out a shot from Rez. That was their access. They got the kill towards logs. Rez stayed. He knew he had to get a kill there. He goes on the corner, but Snappy, pretty unbelievable stuff from him. Then gets that kill through the smoke. He must have had a gap. I'm not sure we can see that from his POV, but I assume he did. It is a very common position for CTs to sit behind when the smoke is down there as well. They're hoping you just run past and the grey skin and don't anticipate them. You can just spam it. It's obviously an easy lineup with a straight wall in your periphery, so you can just line it up, go for a spray, see if they're there. But 8-0, Forrest saves the AWP. They've got maximum loss bonus. And Lekro's got 6,800. I would say they probably give this a go. Might buy into this one. It's Snappy. This little sequence. That kill was great. Could he see him? Yes, he could. So there you go. slight gap in the smoke. They're not always perfect.
Can't even hit the chicken. 8-0 for Optic. Guns again. Dennis, AWP. And with that, he'll get toward the arch side. A bit more aggression toward alt middle this time. Banana's not even being really contested by Nip early on. Tried it 2 rounds ago with 3 players over there, including one of the ops, and they couldn't establish any presence. It was Rez that was on the op in that round. Gade. Quick check of Boiler. While this goes on, Config's getting a little bit closer to the top of Banana as well. That's going to anchor down the position. Give them options. I wouldn't be surprised if Optic elect to just let Config. Okay, fair enough. He's going to shoot and fall back. I was going to say let him just walk in and go for contact. That's something you formerly we would have seen Config do.
Yeah, it can work out very well if you catch them repositioning or grenades in their hand. They've got no cues for you coming in. Normally they use the telegraphed approach with the smokes and the flashbang combos, but you can definitely go for a contact play with a player like Config and see what he can do. 50 seconds now. 2 players holding A. That's going to be Lecro and Forest, the latter of which is in the pit. Lecro holds the sights. Dennis rotating back through. He's got the AWP this time. There's the aforementioned trade of the AWP in his team. Smokes towards the pit to get them access. BKGB making his way in, takes a lot of damage, and flashbangs are good. Allows him to get in there. Config keeps applying pain here as Rez will be taken down. Get Right and co. really struggling now. Forest drops with nothing, but Get Right still fighting back. Lecro hides on the side. 3 versus 3. If Snappy doesn't check this, he's definitely denying the plant.
Bomb goes down, 13 seconds. Finally, a lifeline for NIP. Just Yugi, 10 seconds. No chance he finds all 3, but can he do damage? Given it's going to be a reset, 3 players staying alive. And a second op available. They're not going to pick it up. They'll go for the 2 AKs instead, and Nip get on the board.
Yeah, I think that's better.
So much money on the Optic side, though.
Absolutely, 13k on Gade. He hasn't bought yet, though. There we go, down to 8. They've got a couple of buys left in them. Round 10, NIP with 2 players fully invested here. Basically 3 with Rez's cash and $1,000. I'm sure you're all aware of the situation. They need consecutive rounds at this point. And lose this one of all 5 players going down could spiral out of control here. This is still recoverable. They can still get 8-7. Dennis, AWP, holding Arch as usual. It's Config. You mentioned this, Matt. He could go for contact plays here. That's exactly what he's doing right now. He wants to walk into this site, see if anyone will make a mistake, try and take them down with the AK. Flashbang though, decent, allows him to fall back. He does make a footstep, so might change his approach as his teammates join him. This will look like the full execution to me. They've got very easy access towards B at the start. They've got the majority of their utility. You're going to see smokes towards spools like that. Snappy lining up for CT spawn. They'll Molotov towards first oranges, presumably new boxes as well. That's towards Shadow at the back right. And the first kill comes in, Config to get it. Rez gets a dink, but that's presumably the end of the round because they can't justify going for this retake.
Yeah, NIP doesn't look as confident using their utility on B this time. It was, as you said, a game of cat and mouse, a very clever and tantalizing battle of wit. But that seems to have subsided. Now Optic's just running away with it, and NIP are starting to hesitate. Second guess, have to save yet again. This time will be the reset. But with 3 players surviving last time, if they can keep 3 up this time, they'll be able to force a round. 9-1 the score. That is clear, given that Nip's trying to save. What comes next in terms of guns is yet to be determined. Cajun be the next to hunt. Only one that's really close to the A site, but we'll see if he can get away with 1 kill or not, because Forrest seems ready to strike toward that doorway. Cajun's actually going to go back toward Boiler instead.
Good stuff by Optic. Config has just been such a menace going into that B site, helping himself frag after frag. He's got 12 on the board after 10 rounds of play. And that is pretty detrimental to NIP. They do save 3 weapons though, so they'll buy up into this the best they can, dropping SMGs, CZs, trying to make this work. They know they can't really give up much more here. Need to buy up and see what they can do. Forrest still 1 kill. Top fragger is Lecro and Get Right, both with 5.
I mean, at 6-0, this was a close game, believe it or not.
Yeah.
So it's surprising to
right,
see those frag totals be so low. Obviously, the fall off has been steep. Rez this time trying to contest Banana. They haven't done that in a while, and they're struggling to do it now. Get Right and Rez both down to middle HP, half health, half life, if you want to be true to Valve. But Necro gets the kill back, and it's Config that he takes.
Get Right and Rez tagged up indeed. Dennis looking to find these AWP picks, and he's going to presumably get this one. Yugi, though, so fast, Matt. That's unbelievably quick. The fact that Dennis even sees his shadow first and can't even believe what's happened there. Like we said, Forrest 1 kill, needs to add a few more to his total here. Stand a chance, he'll go down with nothing, so we'll get right. 4 versus 2, they have to go for this, I would say, the CTs. They need to try and make this work, but is it even possible? Lecro will give it all he can towards top and middle, but they just have nothing. 4 kills to find, a bomb to defuse. No one's giving them any sort of access to the site. They had to concede, let it slip by. That was the force buy as well. Remember, they had to drop weapons. Oh, good night.
Not a bad shot. 10-1 on the T side of Inferno.
Okay, it's looking pretty crispy today. That first showing on Nuke was pretty epic.
Now finds himself with 8 kills, config on 12. So Electro all the way to T-spawn to hold on to an AK-47. Yugi. He'll be wielding the op yet again. As he's done to great success, as we can see as well. T-sided op, he's got 9 kills, not all with the AWP, mind you, but still. It's the difficult position to play, certainly. Role to play. One of the more difficult T-sides to play the op with. Rez, desperation setting in, is going to run toward the bench. Can easily be spotted out by Yugi if he looks the right direction. However, with that op, could be found as well. Not to be. Yugi's not fooled.
There we go. 5 on 4. Rez goes down quickly. Snappy confidently makes his way through. The problem when you get to this sort of level, when you feel like you're just running away with the game completely, you start showing a lack of respect. He's helping yourself to every kill you can get. Config, known for his banter, gets in the zone, but this time taken down by Dennis. They won't last for long. Dennis actually gets 2 kills with Silence USP. Surely not another one. He can actually get 3. That's insane. He dinks 2 more players. He makes this possible for Lecro. He gets 2 kills, dinks 2 more. That's for Silence USP. And no armor. Unfortunately, Lecro will find himself in a lot of trouble here, but this is winnable. I say that with bated breath, but still, he could do this. He has got the kit. If he can gain access, he spots Yugi. Unfortunately, maybe we wanted to be a little bit more patient there, but still. Lecro still with a shout to this. Firing off. First kill comes in. Has got the kit. It's up to Yugi now. He's got the AWP on site. This could be very awkward. Lecro can definitely do this, and he has. Unbelievable. That's all down to Dennis.
Huge pullback. You're right. Dennis softens them up. He deals the fatal blow, but it's 10-2. They still have a lot of work ahead of them, and only 1 player surviving. Every round counts at this point. Look, they'll take it. Dennis with the USP. Dink, kill. 2 so far. Great job. Mid-sight pillar. Pillar of hope, perhaps, from NIP. Yugi again has the AWP, so too does Rez this time. Smoke down, config's already inside of it toward Banana. Double Molotov. Is that going to reach with the smoke where it is? It should not be extinguished, but it won't reach, so he's got time. And he's got a flash. Time and a flash together, and he's got a kill on Get Right.
Ouch,
And a great nade onto Rez. Wow. Shoulder grade as well. He's forced back. Has to be a rotation quickly from Dennis, and it is. He gets there just in time to catch config.
Just a note again. Pistol victory once more on the force buy from NIP. It's unbelievable how they keep doing that. Dennis with a USP. Dinks 4 people, kills 2. And makes that round possible for Lecro. That was pretty special. If that's what saves the day here, Dennis would have done it again. Saved them a few times in this tournament. They're going to finish up towards B, but looks things Optic. 1 player holding T steps. That's Cajun B. Lecro smokes the apartments on the other side of the map. It's up to Rez now with the AWP. Remember, he's tagged up. 1 bullet from AK anywhere in the body pretty much takes him down.
Dennis wants to swing out. Little does he know there's 1 player directly to his left. It was a late response from Snappy, but it works out when they get there. Gade's going to get the kill as well. On to Rez. Lecro smoked off towards CT. Won't be able to get back to the site immediately. So a bomb plant for Snappy, but here comes.
Ooh! That was unbelievable. Get that on the replay.
I don't even have words. There's no way that should have happened. Unreal.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yugi's standing He almost just goes, yeah, I'll check it. What? Oh.
See you, mate.
Oh.
That's wild. That's absolutely wild. Well, there we go. Yugi, the fastest orbs in Europe, will be finding himself. How many kills is that now? He's on 11. Forest still yet to post more than one. It feels like this is coming to a logical conclusion now, but they have got pistols and rifles again. That pretty much is a guaranteed round for NIP, the way things have gone so far.
Config close up, get right, walking out, flash, doesn't work. Config just barely saw enough of his shoulder to hold down Mouse 1 and get the kill. Micro boosted up on the quad side. Micro holds still as the smokes come out. No flashes as of yet. There they are, and it may not blind him, but it forces him to look away. That allows Gade the entrance, and he gets 2 on the AK-47 immediately. Dennis and Rez, all that are left. 13-2. Call it, Henry. Blow the whistle. Get it over with. Ring the bell. Lock the doors.
Yeah, well, they might be firmly shut at this point. NIP really can't get anything going on the CT side. I think they were 9-0 down at one point. 8-0 down, I should say. They got to 8-1 reset. Managed to win that pretty much full eco with 1 saved rifle. It looked so in control on overpass in the second half. I was hoping to see more of that with a CT start here, but it's been anything but. Config will allow Rez to live here. Didn't check the corner quite deep enough, and it will be Rez to survive in towards ruins here. And they have got players going towards his position. I'm not sure he will survive. Gade can't really justify running in there. He'll definitely die. First, Yuki going to rush him down. He's hiding behind the sandbags here. They don't get him, so he'll save the M4. They've got about 2k per player.
So 12-2 for now, but you're right, 2k per player. It's not looking amazingly well for them.
Gade is a solid player, man. He's really good. I haven't actually watched too much of Optic. Obviously, they're out there, North America. I haven't seen him at many top-tier events, but he's a really quite special player. I'm excited to see more from him. As we'll see an aggressive push. I think Config's done for. Yugi will get one, maybe through the smoke. I'm not sure how that went down, but he does manage to find one of the kills. Good grenade, though. Ton of damage towards Snappy and Yugi. 3 versus 4. NIP recover an AK.
They push up toward middle now instead, with the smoke still down at the bottom of Banana. Get right in the sight. Top of the barrel rather than the box in the corner. That could catch them off. Sprays into the smoke, gets one, but fired so many bullets that Gade was able to slide out and catch him off. Cajun B, topside mid, catches up Forrest wanting the mid wall, and it's all down to Dennis.
Yes, no kits. 3-on-1.
Keep in mind, NIP has to reset after this crushing defeat. A long second map, and play immediately after against Sprout.
He could do this. It's not outside the realms of possibility, but unfortunately jumps up. Gade takes him down 13-2. Unfortunately, Matt, that is a death sentence on the
I think so, yep.
I'm not sure you can come back from that. Even if you win the pistol and get a 5-0 start, I just don't see a world where Optic give up anything more than 5 or 6 rounds, maybe. But there we go. You are absolutely right. NIP, just to reiterate, if you're just joining us, maybe see some sort of hype on Twitter and stuff like that, what's going on in the comeback from NIP. This is the 3rd and final map. It's looking likely they'll lose this best of 3, but they play against Sprout pretty much straight after. It's probably have like a 15-minute break, and they'll be right back into the action against Sprout in the elimination game to decide who progresses to tomorrow. It'll be the final game of the day. It's 5:15 in the evening here in London. This Cajun, he has all the footsteps he needs, and Yuki won't even allow him to have a kill. Takes it away from him. Well, that's a quick finish, and that's Dennis as well. That's probably the last play you want to go down quickly. And Forrest as well, the 2 pistol kings of this squad removed.
Fantastic shot from Config.
Yeah, very calm, very precise.
Yuki backs off slightly, has to. Shots firing in his direction, doesn't need to get caught out. But slow reaction from Gade as he sees get right and then realizes it. Tries to fire in.
That's a bit of an overcommitment, if I'm honest, but there we go.
Bit of a dance, too. Looked sloppy in the way that he was moving. Flash out, gets Get Right in the position. They all face. Gade gets the kill onto Lekro. Rez gets one back. They're still low HP on Gade, so if they can find the player in the pit, they could make this work. Instead, Gade peeks yet again. Pit player goes down immediately after, and although the bomb was attempted to be planted, it's still just going to be Rez remaining. Goes back to default instead. Snappy and Config pushing him in. He fakes it. He gets off, and he's got a chance. This is down to a one-on-one Rez against Config, who's rotated all the way over from the B site, now has 57 HP. That gives Rez the slight advantage. Not only that, well, you're right. I was going to say it's the Glock. He's got more ammo to fire, but he's not got much left. Gets the reload in time. Config can't capitalize. Takes further damage as well. And Rez is just looking to pick him apart. Death by 1,000 paper cuts from the Glock. He's got him down to the red. Still trying to find him behind the box. Config trying to bait out the time. 13 seconds. Force the commitment to the plant at this point, and finally he'll go running. Back and forth again. What an affair. It's time, certain, as Config finds the kill instead.
My goodness, that couldn't have been closer. Rez, 3 versus 1, did a great job to make it possible. That was the lifeline there for an IP, but unfortunately, Rez can't do it. Such great play as well. I feel for him tremendously there. The fact he played so well to get the fake plants in, managing to bait people out. Snappy for you had the guaranteed kill there. He really took Config right to the wire. Wasn't quite enough in the end. It will be 14-2 in favor of Optic. The Danes doing a great job here on Inferno. Has to be the force buy, even with the attempt at the plant. We'll see whether they can find any sort of success. They occasionally be with a shotgun. They got 1 rifle and 3 UMPs.
So Dennis to hold off toward the apartments. Cajun backs away with the shotgun. Looking for a very early map point on this map 3. Rez working his way back into position with the UMP. It's smoke to hold off Mr. Chris. Get right. You get the position at Arch, holding the wall, spots the shoulder, can control the wide peek against Lekro. That's the first kill. Back to mid. Gade still trying to fire down shotgun, and it's completely destroyed. Good shot from Dennis yet again. That brings us level. He got hit by that shotgun too. He got taken down to 9 HP, Hank.
Certainly did. Chance here. NIP for low HP Dennis, but 2 players only on the A site. 25 seconds, this will be their final commitment. Gade, so strong so far. Times it well, uses the smoke to his advantage. Knows his player in the apartments as well. 15 seconds remaining. Snappy, if he gets his kill, this should be it. Forrest can't do anything about it. 15-2, and that pretty much is GG, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see them buy up what they can, but 13 rounds in a row on the T side. I just don't think that's happening. They'll buy what they can.
Spare a thought. Again, I reiterate that they've got to recover from this crushing defeat after a long second map and play immediately against Sprout. That will be an elimination match. The bottom side of the bracket for this, the playoffs. Meanwhile, Optic will move on to play against Ents tomorrow morning in the upper bracket final. Winner of that secures at least one of the 2 spots for the Challenger stage here in London coming up in September. Get your tickets. You'll definitely want to be here. Should be one of the better majors. We're going to have interesting times, no doubt. We'll be sorted by then. NIP seems sorted with these pistols as well as the MAC-10. Rez finds Gade. That's a favorable trade, but here comes the running and gunning Snappy to bring it level and deny the plant, at least for a moment. They have to remove or relocate that position of the bomb as Get Right does so.
There we go. This could be the end. 3 versus 3, but bomb planted. A chance here as Rez and Get Right go to town. Not giving up just yet, it seems.
As always, pistols it is.
It's unbelievable. When this team gets solid and they get their act together and then kind of get the tactics and the synergy down, this is going to be a difficult team to beat. If they can find the rifle coordination and allow Lekro to find a comfortable position with the in-game leading, the fact they can just win round after round with pistols is just unbelievable. 15-3. Might delay this a little bit longer.
So the chime yet again. But we are still on map point. Lycro, good entrance. Gade trying to do what he could, but it was overwhelming with it. Rez happened to have a back 10. Get Right was smart to relocate that bomb plant as well, because if Snappy had denied it and left the bomb down rather than in their possession, even if they didn't get the second plant.
There it is, the Easter egg radio command.
Fair enough.
Still don't know why that happens.
Don't know. There's got to be something. As I was saying before, was rudely interrupted by the damn chickens, or thoughts of them. That bomb went down toward the quad side, and Snappy was able to control the angle and draw back toward the mid wall and force peaks. Then he could have stole around back for Optic, but still have a chance in this. They'll run with 2 M4s and a UMP, 2 Deagles, armor for everyone. Kit for Cajun to note as well, as Gade gets back out toward the quad side, and there we go. Deagle enough, finds Rez.
Optic's Deagle, very impressive. 5 and 4. He doesn't recover the rifle just yet. He'll be holding the corner. Cajun on the A site, one of the 2 M4s available. Get Right has been promising this series so far, continues to be so. Gets 1, 4 on 4. They are going to be attacking towards A. The commitment coming in momentarily. Gade the UMP. Good for 1. Yugi goes 1 step further. They have the advantage, and this might be the game. 3 versus 1. Get Right.
Oh,
My goodness gracious, that is unbelievable from Yugi there. Really nice game from him in total. Uses the rifle there and the Deagle to close things out. It was the force buy as... There we go. That's more like it from Optic. That's what we saw in the first map, and indeed the third. Second was much better from NIP, but they couldn't really seem to hold it together on the third. I
remember when Yugi joined this squad, they said if he plays the way that he does in practice, he will be one of the best oppers in the world.
That's right.
And the speed that he plays with, not only with the AWP, we saw that crazy shot on force, but even the rifle decisions in that round to peak correctly, he's pretty solid.
I said even in that game, no, I don't even think we've seen the best of Yugi so far. Like, he hasn't really realize his true potential, right? And he hasn't ever been in the world-class team. He's always just been on the cusp of tier 2, never really been in the top 10. It's always a heroic who are always okay. They always had upset results, but Yugi is looking unbelievable. And that is a convincing victory, 16-3. They close it out with Deagles and a couple of rifles. And just to kind of send it home, NIP do need to play against Sprout right now.
Right now, and they've got to recover from this. I mean, that's a tough defeat to have, especially when you think you've given yourself a chance on overpass. You get it to overtime, you come back, you were struggling early on. We even said we thought, hey, they've got an absolute chance on this map. Get blown out, so that's a tough reset. Sprout did top their group as well, which is an interesting thought to keep in mind.
I think that'll be a 3-map affair, but a really fun one. I think Sprout actually a decent little team, but that's all from us for now in this particular game. Congratulations to Optic. We've got Parler down the show floor with the victors.
We've got Parler down on the show floor, that is correct, Henry. I'm stood by Gade right now. Let's talk to you about Nuke, because you had a really, really good showing on that map. Tell me what you felt as that game was going on, because it looked like you were really in the zone.
I just think I were in good situations, and my teammates were talking well to me, so I always had knew where people were, and that made the clutches much easier. And then we just, everyone were hitting their shots, we won the pistol, and just came off a good start.
Gade, at this point in your career, you've seen a rise up until this point, and now you're going to be competing in the winners bracket final of a minor. Going from an academy to here, what is that like?
Right now, thrilling, but yeah, it's been a journey since day one, so I'm just really happy that it came to this point, and now we're in the winner bracket.
Awesome, congratulations, my friend. Let's move down here. Snappy, I want to talk to you about the second map, Overpass. It got pushed into overtime. You could have potentially taken it earlier. Just what was going on with regards to how you guys were playing there and how close it was?
I think we made a mistake on T side. We didn't take enough map control, which is what we are really good at, I think. So we played it kind of wrong at the start of the T side, and that's why it went to NIP. We still had the chances, but yeah, that's how it goes sometimes.
Awesome. And do you feel at this point, you guys as a team, I'm just looking around, by the way, to see who else. Everyone's just walking away. That's fine. Yeah, at this point as a team that you guys are starting to find the potential that you've been looking for. I think you came second at DreamHack Summer, and so you're starting to find that rhythm.
Yeah, I definitely think so. The June have been amazing for us in practice, and I think that transitions into the qualifiers. And now this, I don't think we lost a game in the Stockholm qualifier and the minor qualifier, and now we are undefeated here still. So I think we are on a good run, and I just hope we can continue.
Wicked, congratulations. Config, I have to talk to you about that final map, but specifically that pistol round. What was going on at the end when you were dancing around that pillar in that duel versus Res?
I think we were just practicing dancing at the point. I don't know. We were just trying to avoid each other and not getting headshotted, and that was just it. Res was just a funny dance partner.
Yeah, because you were at a massive disadvantage in terms of health. What should he have done differently? Maybe try to mind game you, pretend he was rotating, or actually rotate? Should he have been more aggressive?
I think we just outplayed each other because we were both playing like the wait for someone to peek, and no one peeked. So I have no clue. It was a weird situation.
Awesome. And for you, at this point in your career, you've been on a number of high-tier teams. What's it like being in Optic as an organisation, being linked up with your teammates?
It's the best experience so far, best experience that I've ever had. And it's so nice to play in a good team and in a good organisation, and everything is just smooth.
Yugi deserves a highlight as well. I wanted to talk to him, but I'm only left with you. Can you tell me a bit about how he is playing at the moment?
He's just insane, hitting 6 shots, trying to no-scope, and has a lot of confidence. And I think it's because we played really good in practice the last month, and I think it will keep up showing. And in the final, in the upper bracket final, he will show it again.
Final thing then, Config. Up next, tomorrow you'll be playing against ENCE in the winners bracket final. If you win that, you get one of the major spots in September. Do you think ENCE are going to have what's needed to beat you guys, or do you feel you have the edge?
I think it's a pretty even game. It's a 50-50. ENCE is really good. They showed it at Cologne, and they showed it here as well. But we showed it in the first game we're going to win, so it's no problem.
Wicked, anything else that you would like to say to the fans watching at home, or anyone you would like?
If you're buying an Optic shirt, remember with Config on the back of it. That's the best one.
Thank you so much, Christian. Much appreciated. Trace and the guys on the desk, what a best of 3.
What a best of 3 indeed, Paula Gilreason. I think I butcher that every time I say it. But the point is, an intense best of 3 here, and, well, just a dominant showing by Optic Gaming here on the Inferno T side.
I think the best bit about this is we're going to get ENCE versus Optic 3 times throughout this tournament, because it's very clear after this match, it's very clear after the opening game of the day who the top 2 teams left in this tournament are, and it is Optic, and it is ENCE. But look, obviously, Overpass got a little bit messy there in the middle. Realistically, this series should have been wrapped up about 45 minutes ago, and you just saw the prowess of Optic and really putting the pedal to the metal there on the last map and closing it out and giving the deserved result, I think, is the best way to look at it.
And a very turbulent showing there on that pistol round. Actually, Paula got the chance to ask Config about it. It was an interesting dance. I don't know that we've seen that. Maybe there will be some sort of challenge that goes across all of YouTube with the hashtag Res and Config dance, and then people just kind of...
People are just like it's when you're walking in the street and you both go left, and then you both got to go right.
You go a little right.
And then you both got to go left
one of these
again,
numbers.
And then you do the Macarena.
Yes, indeed. Chad nailed it right on the head. Now, Maniac, what are some takeaways you took from this best of 3, I guess, overall?
Yeah, I think Chad put it pretty well. It could and should have been a 2-0. I think Optic had everything they needed to close Overpass. I feel like individual prowess kind of saved NIP in this second map.
Sure.
Should have been a 2-0. I mean, Lecro 1v2, Get Rice 1v3, then at 11-7 when Dennis wins a round single-handedly with 4 kills with the M4, that's the only weapon they have at this point. That could have been Optic just running with the second map. So NIP kind of bought themselves a chance at the third map, but overall I think it's deserved. Optic taking it home.
Yeah, Optic definitely having shown their true colors there and some dominance, too, there on that last map. But I think it's something where I can kind of kick it over to you, Chad, and say, you know, a little bit of a force buying situation.
Yeah, so this is something I like to talk about. This isn't necessarily something that I'm looking at here and going, hey, this is super bad by NIP. This is just highlighting what happens when you force buy on the CT side of Inferno. We know how utility dependent it is to get banana control, to lock off middle as a corridor for as long as possible. You need those smokes, those flashes, those Molotovs. As you're going to see here, their force buy allows them to only have 1 Molotov and a couple of smokes to start off, and they've already given up banana control from the start of the round. This map overview shows how easy it is for Optic to get control of this, and when you're given so much territory and you know that they've force ball earlier in the piece, you can bait out utility so easily. And Optic here, they opt for a double pump on the B bomb site, throw in the smokes and Molotovs, displace the CTs, make them double guess. Sure, it drew in the rotation, but when they went in for that second phase, when they went in for that second wave of attack, they were the ones with the utility advantage. Even though the CTs may have had an extra player over there, they just get traded out efficiently, the bomb site falls, and they played the money and economy situation against the force buy of NIP earlier against them. So they've used the fact that they force ball earlier in the piece against them here to really just take control and win that first gun round. Very pivotal.
It does kind of paint a worst case scenario, does it not, Maniac?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Chad had a very good point about banana control being an issue for NIP at the beginning of this half. And as a matter of fact, I think they realized it and they tried to adjust and they tried to really take control of this banana, as we are about to see. But the problem is, well, I'm not gonna break the suspense right now. We shall see. So what happens is basically NIP realizes they need to control banana. They cannot allow to play in the dark. So one of the possibilities you have is to keep it with 2 people. We see Get Right is deep, Rez has the AWP of the car. Get Right gets a trade. Rez is supposed to get the kill here. That is the problem. He doesn't, he gets killed. But we will see. NIP is ready for this. Lecro is already there. He's the 3rd player. He's in position on B. And the trades go Optic way. So this is what I like to call the biggest nightmare as an in-game leader. This is where basically you have the good idea, the right read, and nothing goes your way.
And that kind of ruined the rest of the half for them there, because even when they did try and get banana control, they were completely punished. It was taken away from them, and then we just saw them sitting back in the bomb sites. That's not how you want to play the CT side of Inferno at all. You want to be relatively transitional in the way you play the top of banana and the either side of middle. You can constantly jiggle peek, and as soon as they want to take control, they have to use utility. They can't just walk in brazenly. They have to actually expend a little bit and change their game plan. You're always in safe positions on the CT side of Inferno, no matter how you jiggle peek. If they hit a crazy shot, if they pre-fire you, that's unlucky. But I feel that you can play around those positions of the map quite well without having to use too much utility as well. So got to keep that in mind.
And it does get a little bit easier when you have the backbone performing at a 1.21 rating. Is that not right, Chad?
So the point that I wanted to make here about Cajun B was he might not be the flashiest player in the server for this team. You always look to the likes of Yugi and Config, but we talk about the older generation or the more tenured members like Cajun for this squad who, you know, they put in frags that they're not the best kills in the world, but they're pivotal in winning rounds. And Overpass, even though it was taken away from them, was a map where the likes of Optic weren't winning the opening duels. But Cajun stood up time and time again. There were several rounds where he didn't get these flashy kills, but got 2 pivotal frags to turn the round on its head and allow Optic to steal away a couple of really important rounds early in the piece against NIP. So just wanted to give props to him, just a shout out for the performance that usually goes without too much credit.
Absolutely. I think you look at me and I feel like I need to say something, but I want to do it. I want to do it. I think Cajun he doesn't get what he should deserve as a praise. You know, when you play with players in the type of Yugi, a Config, it's easy to get forgotten. But here we are. You know, I think Cajun's work is really hard. He's kind of the mid-round glue for Optic, and he deserves to. It deserves the praise.
It deserves the praise. And you know what? We were going to take a look at some stats, but it was just so one-sided of an affair there on Inferno.
We just don't worry about it.
It's just kind of like, you know what? At that point, just kind of get rid of them. Get them out of here.
We can do that. We can get rid of them. We can get rid of you soon if we need to.
Would you like that?
Yeah.
Chad, how about we just get rid of you?
We spent way too much time together the last 3 weeks.
It's really come down to the wire here. Kind of like some of these numbers. If we take a look at the stats leaders across this best of 3, walk me through this one, guys.
Well, I think the NIP one stands out the most, right? It definitely was Rez and Dennis were the guys stepping up time and time again, or being more consistent. I know we touched on Lecro's clutch, we touched on Get Right's clutch. Sure, people had their moments, but these 2, Rez and Dennis, were the most solid, and potentially, I guess, going to be the headliners for this NIP roster going forward as the star duo.
Yeah, Rez really showing a lot of promise here. Definitely not just in this matchup, but more so, I guess, over the chaotic situation, which is Ninjas in Pajamas right now.
Yeah, well, I want to say this again. I think if they don't make the major, the DreamHack Stockholm Masters will be their last event.
You got to do it on home soil. That is exactly how it works. We actually do have a head-to-head compared so that you can take a look at some players that we highlighted earlier on when we were on this segment. And then it would be Config and Dennis. Now, obviously, Dennis having caught the L today.
He gets to play again, though.
Yeah.
Maybe he can carry that form through. I don't know. I think in terms of, we've already covered it, right? Optic look like a team who want to win. NIP look like a team who are currently in limbo, where we don't know where they're at, and mentally they look flat. I think that's, you know, just it. With this head-to-head, Dennis is one of the players who's still managing to put numbers on the board, but otherwise, I don't want to paint a too bleak picture, but NIP just aren't living up to that potential that we know is there.
I mean, there were certain times I was watching this game where I was like, these guys, they just seem like they don't have a soul. Like, it's just, where are they right now?
Well, to be fair, I think how the first gun rounds of Inferno went down could have changed a lot. I think the 2 or 3 first gun round could have gone either way. For example, we had a round where Yugi went absolutely nuts on B, where I think NIP had the right positions to win that. To this, you add the round that we showed together where there was this banana control that NIP had actually the position for and still end up losing. So I feel like it could have gone a different way, but the way it snowballed, NIP just didn't have the fuel for it.
Right.
Optic were just too fast to be stopped.
And there's some problems going forward, Trace, because now we have NIP going up against Sprout, and Sprout ban Overpass, and that's the only map that NIP have really been able to get wins on. They obviously beat Rev Reserve on that map earlier in the tournament, and they had a comeback victory here against the likes of Optic, so that's not going to be there for them to pick, unfortunately.
It's not going to be the easiest path for the Ninjas of Pajamas should they be trying to solidify their place in this minor and then on to the major. But we do have Sprout Nip in the lower bracket. That loss does send Ninja Pajamas down to lower. And then Ensign Optic Gaming. That is teed up for a pretty nice little battle, if I do say so myself.
The only thing that I feel sucks for one of those two teams is tomorrow when they play the opening game of the day, which will be the upper bracket final, which will be that banger of a match, is if it is one of those games that goes all 3 maps and is hugely entertaining and delivers, one of those two teams is going to have to play 3 games in a row. Right?
Rough.
That's the potential, right? They're going to have to then go up against the winner of NIP versus Sprout, and then again the rematch in the grand final. I'd be happy if we get Ents versus Optic twice in a day in a best-of-3 series. That'd be awesome, right? That'd be great. But one team is going to have to play a lot more Counter-Strike.
Yeah. And the law of averages says the more you play, the more often, I guess, you could lose. Yeah. So
statistically, that makes sense.
I made that up. Not
like
really
it.
sure. It kind of made sense in the moment, but it also makes sense for you to go on social media. Yes, it's that time again. Head over to use hashtag FACEITMinor and go ahead and get activated across your favorite social media platforms. I don't know what you young whippersnappers are using these days, but I can imagine that Chad also uses it too. He tries to be trendy. He tries to be hip. He tries to be cool. So make sure you tag him in whatever you're doing.
That's why I got a beard.
Yeah.
That's what all the kids are doing nowadays.
Hello, fellow kids.
Trying to grow beards.
Either way, we're going to be going to a little bit more of an extended break this time, roughly 15 minutes. So don't get too antsy. We're going to be coming back from this break, and we've got one more best of 3 for you today. So make sure you're with us when we come back.